Up, Farmstrong Nation? Farmstrong First 10 returns, and if you haven't caught the first one that I did with Mandy, go back and watch that. But something that's been on my heart that I really wanted to do is help people see the first 10. I feel like there's so much emphasis on watching people get to the end goal, and we don't celebrate somebody until they've, are a finished product. But what I find is amazing is the first 10, because that is where somebody makes the bold decision to take massive action in their life. And I got an amazing guest tonight, Michele Forsberg. Michele, I'm going to bring you in real quick. I'm still trying this. There he is. There's Michele. So say hi to Michele.
Hi.
Michele, she is a rock star, and her first 10 is unbelievable that she started with me. And I want her to tell it. And Michele, why don't you introduce yourself and give Facebook just a little bit of insight of what was going on in your mind and your heart when you made the decision to get started.
So I have my own business. I'm a physical therapist, and I was like working crazy hours, and I was feeling, I had a lot of projects going on, and I've got a daughter and a family, and I was just feeling really kind of stuck, like overwhelmed, just super, super busy, and just felt like I wasn't able to like achieve any goals. I wasn't moving. I was kind of denying myself because, you get stuck into this snowball effect of you're not being productive, and then it just kind of slips into this slope of like laziness, and you just feel like you're not getting anything accomplished. And so I had seen your group, your fitness challenge on Facebook, and everybody looked so happy and fit. And I just kept thinking to myself, why am I not moving? I love to move and dance, and, I really need to be doing this on a regular basis. So I thought, I'm going to join Andy's group so that I could have the accountability and just make a transformation and start to feel better, basically. So that's where I started.
That's so great. And when you started, we had this amazing day where we got together and we did this thing, had a lot of push-ups in it. And I could see your eyes being big, and you were just like, oh my gosh, I don't know there. And that's where you donned the nickname Modifier Michele. And a lot of people would have not donned that, but you took it as kind of a sense of pride and empowerment, and it becomes part of where you started, and then a sense of pride of where you are now, which is way beyond Modifier Michele. But talk to me about
modifying the Modifier Michele.
Yeah, right.
I couldn't even do what the Modifier was doing. I had to like do the push-ups on the wall, and I was embarrassed, but whatever. I just went with it.
Yeah. So a lot of people, when they're first starting, they want to feel like they can just do it, right? And modifying feels like it makes them frustrated, like, oh man, I'm not keeping up. So talk to somebody who would maybe be in that place, who are trying something and it's new and it's hard and they feel like they have to modify. How did you embrace it? And then how did it become something that fueled you as you progressively kept getting better?
Well, I just saw you guys doing it, and I was like, well, they're doing it, so eventually I'll be able to do it, hopefully. But I felt pretty beaten down. I didn't feel like, I really didn't think that I could get there. I thought, wow, I'm just really out of shape, and but I'm going to stick to it and see what happens, because, Andy says, if you follow the program, you're going to get results. So, I was watching you and Dr. Jess doing the push-ups, on your feet, and, you looked great, and you inspired me. So I felt like, okay, if they can do it, eventually maybe I'll be able to do it too. So, and I was.
Well, the program we were doing, everybody had these little nicknames, right? And so we all wanted to be like, there's a girl, Street Fighter Sophie there. So going to the end, you were Modifier Michele. But today, as you sit, where you don't call yourself Modifier Michele? What do you call yourself?
I'm Muay Thai Michele.
So talk to me about Muay Thai Michele. How long did it take for her to come out? And I always think that Muay Thai Michele embraces her inner badass, and you posted all these amazing pictures of you flexing now. And so talk to me about Muay Thai Michelle, and what kind of person is she?
So Muay Thai Michelle is a badass. So I just attacked that sucker like a tiger and just went for it. And I think, it was really surprising to me after probably like 3 weeks. I was like, you know what, I'm going to try because, Joel and Jericho say, just go ahead and try. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try to do it on my toes. And I, did it. And I was so excited. And then, I don't know, maybe like a week later, I did probably 90% of it full out, just like everybody on the video. And it's just such an amazing feeling to like go from having to do push-ups on the wall to like doing them full out, and you can just feel your strength. And I think, the workout itself is great, but just it gave me strength throughout my whole day, right? So I would wake up with such energy and like, I'm going to go work out. Like I was just so excited to like go down to my basement, to my workout room and like hit play and like do it and see what I could accomplish. And that just translated through everything that I did in my whole life. My husband was noticing I was happier to be around. I was getting more done in my, business and around the house. I was just accomplishing so much more just by having those little victories, So
for somebody who's just starting out, how long did that process take, right? Because they go and maybe they're modifier Megan or something like that, right? Like for you, how long did it change till those really positive, like the more energy, the more momentum in your business? When did you start to see like that thing start to happen? And how long did it take for you to really start embracing that?
I think, I started to, so I would say like it took me about 3 weeks to like feel the strength and the changes, but I started to feel the change gradually before that. I started to have that energy probably within a week, I think, because we had worked out like the first week with you guys on Saturday, and already I had dropped 6 pounds and like had already beaten my husband on the weight loss, which that never happens, by the way, because guys usually lose weight much faster. And I was shaming him. And so I started to feel that badass coming out, but it didn't really, like the major changes, it took about 3 weeks for me to really feel the difference with the strength. But, I think the energy, like I said, was just a gradual build.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about trust the process, because you said, well, I got crazy results really quick, but then I know that you kind of plateaued for a little bit, and yeah. I was like, hey, for me, I went, and then it was that last week, that week 4, they were coming in, and you were waiting. You're like, Andy, I don't know, and then all of a sudden you were giving me your final updates, and then the next day you're like, hey, Andy, I got to add like another 2 pounds that final update, or another 2 pounds, or I lost another one. Yeah. Talk to me about keeping faith after getting a really big win early and kind of having to hold the line, knowing that it's going to come, and then finally getting the payoff. What kept you strong when the scale didn't move after it had been moving?
I think I felt so good. I didn't want to let go of that feeling. So I just knew that keeping up with it, I eventually was going to have more success with it. But I think, I don't know. I just wanted to keep going. And so like, even after the 30 days was up, the first 30 days, like you said, I had another 2 pounds lost, and then I took my measurements, and that was the real kicker. I had lost 9 inches, which to me was much more dramatic than the actual weight loss, right? Yeah. And then even after I continued through different programs and stuff, I started to feel like, I slipped a little with my diet, but I kept exercising, and I felt like I had ordered the 3-day refresh because I felt like I needed to just boost my metabolism a little bit and start all over again, because I felt like I had slipped a little on the diet. Okay. And then I thought for sure that I had gained some weight back, but I actually lost a pound. Okay. In the time where I was like kind of cheating. Okay. So that I was like, what? My metabolism has changed for sure. So that was exciting. So every little step along the way is a little victory, a new victory. So I keep, finding new victories. And so, yeah, I hope, did that answer the
Yes,
question?
totally. It did
Yeah.
perfectly. And what I love about your story, Michelle, is when you started, modifier Michelle, but you've had just this constant thing where you're getting wins on and off the scale. But you've been such like a leader in my groups, helping motivate others, teaching. Here's what I've learned. Um, what has the group part of it when we put everybody together, we're all in it together. It's not like you're doing this by yourself, but
Mhm.
how did the group support you and your results?
Oh, the group is awesome, and that's one of the reasons I did it, because I felt like I needed somebody to keep me accountable.
Yeah.
Um, so there was like one day that I was having a bad day, and I reached out to the group, and because if I don't get my workouts in the morning, it's much harder for me to work out in the afternoon or evening. So I reached out to the group and was like, "Hey guys, at 7 o'clock, I'm going to be home, and I'm going to need a little bit of a push." And I remember you came on with your ninja hoodie and hey, have you done your workout? And then a couple of other people kind of chimed in too. And it just made me feel like this group we're holding each other accountable. And, if I don't do my workout, it may affect somebody else. So it was kind of like we're giving and taking and, that kind of thing, and just kind of feeding off of each other's successes. And it just makes you feel like, hey, they're doing it. Why can't I do it?
Totally. Totally.
Yeah.
I just want to acknowledge you for doing that and staying consistent throughout that. Where are you? So the first 10 was the start of this Muay Thai, Michelle, who's come out, and you're embracing your inner badass. You're flexing your leg muscles, and like you have all this leg definition, which that was a big moment for you. But what's next? And what is this new Muay Thai Michelle? What kind of things is she going to do in the next 3 to 6 months or the next year that you're really excited about? That this momentum has really given you empowered you to take on.
Well, so just being this newfound, I found my inner badass.
Yeah.
And it's just making me want to attack other things in my life, right? So I've become much more creative, and I had this program called Feminine Energy in the back burner of my life, and I've brought it to the forefront now, and I'm going for that and want to launch that program. And I just feel like I don't want to go crazy with my goals as far as the fitness. I'm just patting myself on the back for continuing and, working out 5 to 7 days a week and continuing to, follow the diet. And if I fall off a little bit, I forgive myself. So those are like really good lessons for me to learn. And I just want to help inspire other people to feel this way and know that movement is a really important part of your life. And for everyone, I mean, just the more you move and get the blood pumping, and, it's just a really important part of my life. And I'm sure, it benefits everyone else too. So I just want to spread that joy and that love.
That's so awesome. What is the best piece of advice that you would have for someone who feels stuck? They feel sore, like sedentary sore, like there's just ground to a halt because they're not moving. They know they need to, they're not really sure what to do. Maybe exercise feels like something they've tried and maybe they failed there, but they know they just need to move, and they don't want to focus on it as being, hey, I want to follow this fitness regimen, but I just need to move, right? What advice would you give those people?
Well, I would tell them to just find something that they enjoy doing, like whether it's walking the dog or, going to a park or just getting out in nature to start, and then possibly learning some easy stretches and mobility things to just get yourself ready to move. And then, starting with some kind of program, whether it's yoga or, something, not that yoga is easy. Trust
Sure.
me. I'm not saying that at all, because yoga can be very difficult, but something that's a little bit less jarring. But just find a way to get out there and make yourself happy and move your body, whether it's, just dancing with if you have kids, dancing with your kids in front of the TV, or, playing some music and just, getting your groove on. Right. So just kind of, yeah, finding your own groove basically. So
good.
Yeah.
So good. Michelle, I just want to acknowledge you for finding your groove and watching you embrace the Muay Thai Michelle, and, constantly getting better, constantly sharing your wins. if you guys haven't checked out what her transformation looks like, I included a picture on my timeline a little bit before. So it's really cool to see what it looks like, but more importantly, I wanted you to hear what it looks like, and especially from Michele's own words, how she's become. That you guys can see the confidence, you can see her vibrancy, and that is something that I see every day in the group, and I wanted to make sure that everybody else saw it. So Michele, thank you so much for being consistent, for fighting for your inner badass, for sharing your wins, for helping other people in the group, and for being real about it. I think that's so great. Is there anything else that you wanna say, or any as parting shots, last things?
No, I just, I want to just thank you, Andy, for being such an inspiration, because I don't think I would be here if it weren't for you. So I just, every day I'm just astounded by the things that are changing in me. I'm continuing to lose weight and get stronger, and it just makes me feel better and better and better. And it makes me be able to do more and more and more in my life and just have more joy. So I just thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Well, you're welcome. And if you're watching this broadcast and you feel stuck, reach out to me, or if you know Michele, reach out to Michele. Because just getting started, I want you to see that, hey, the first 10 is something to celebrate. And if you're modifying, that means you're in the game. That means you're actually doing it, and that's something to celebrate as well. Michele, thank you so much for showing people and giving people the courage to go out and move and to modify and to go on their journey on the way to their inner badass. I so appreciate you. And if you guys, I'm going to keep sharing some stuff. She's definitely one I keep bragging on. So stay tuned, or follow Michele on Facebook. She's a great person for motivation and for inspiration. So look her up. If you guys have any comments or questions for Michele, please leave them, and we'll both be checking the feed, and the comments will come back in and answer any questions. But go out and find your health groove. Be like Michele. Go embrace your inner badass, and we'll catch you guys later.
Bye.